So basically my plan is by Thursday next week we will do a little opportunity to show what you know on Schoology about this stuff. So that'll be a week and 2 days from now. On Friday and Monday, I'm going to give you basically anywhere from 7 to 10 different topics, and you get to choose a group of 2 or 3 people that you are going to pick one of those topics, and you're going to be working on the Friday and Monday of what was that topic about, and then for the day of your final, you actually will have something written down on a piece of paper or multiple pieces of paper, and we'll use the document camera there, and you'll come up and you'll put it up on the board, and you get to do a 3 to 5 minute synopsis of what you did as a group. Cool? And that'll be your final.
Okay.
Shouldn't be the worst kind of final ever, right? Let's see how it goes. So we'll do that. That's what we're preparing for, and hopefully it goes well. So let's see. So was it these last 2 ones? What amount of investments?
We did the top 3.
We did 1, 2, 3. We skipped that one.
Yep, and then we did those 2.
1, 2, and so
we did 1 and 2. We didn't do the last one.
we did not do this one, and we did not do that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we could do that. All right, says find the future value if $1,000 is invested at 20 years at 8% compounded continuously. So you guys following where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is going to be this equation. And the reason we use this one is because we are compounded continuously. And we want to find the future value, so we want to figure out A. So this is going to be my p-value. This is going to be my time. This is going to be 0.08 we're going to use for rate. And we'll plug those in. So we have 1,000 e raised to the 0.08 times 20. Wow, this is actually going to be this will be pretty darn good little investment. So you go 1,000, you use your e to the x, 0.08 times 20. All right, so look at this, my friends. So if you had a extra 1,000 and you found something that was like a 20-year investment where you can't touch the money for 20 years, but it's earning 8%. In 20 years, your $1,000 turns into just south of $5,000. Wow. Okay, we use rule of 72. Rule of 72 basically means roughly every 9 years it doubles. So that's that might be something to look at. I mean, I have no idea if you come across an extra $1,000 in your adventure towards life, but if you found a 20-year bond or something like that at 8%, I mean, don't you think it'd be kind of cool if you forgot about that $1,000 and it would stink if you put that $1,000 and you just had $1,000 sitting in your dresser and you forgot about it, because $1,000 at the end of whenever you find that envelope with $1,000, it's still $1,000. But if you knew you had that $1,000, you're going, I don't need this right now. I'm just going to put it into this account. 20 years, you get a note saying, hey, this matures next month and it will be worth almost $5,000. Then all of a sudden in 20 years, you're like, sweet, that $1,000 I forgot about is now worth $5,000 all day long. I'll take that. I like that kind of money. Hey, you guys let me know if you find that kind of account, please. I'll buy you a steak dinner. Because I wouldn't put 1,000 in, I'd probably put $500,000 in. $500,000 multiplied almost by 5. Turn $500,000 into 2.5 million. Giddy up. All right, we good? Like it? All right, cool. Let's move. And then you said the very last one on that page. It says find the annual percentage yield or effective rate for a nominal rate of 6% compounded continuously. So I have to go back and I have to use this equation, the APY. So e raised to the r minus 1. So APY, oops. APY equals e to the r minus 1. So all I have to do here is just plug this in as 0.06 for the r. So e to the 0.06 minus 1. And again, your calculator will do this. This is going to tell you, even though you're earning 6%, what is it really earning you each year because it's compounding? So it's going to be a little bit more than that. So 0.06 minus 1. So your annual percentage yield for this comes out to 0.0618. So this is the same thing as 6.18%. And the reason that's happening is your money is compounding continuously, so it's continuously growing, so you're actually earning more than a 6% per year. You're earning 6.18% on your money. So if you wanted to figure out how much you would actually be making, you could use the other equation to get a little bit further on that kind of stuff. So annual percentage yield is a little bit different than like a future value. A future value gives you the actual value that you're putting in. This one just says, hey, I only know the percent, so you base it on that. We A-okay? Okay, let's close this down, move you over. All right, let's see what we got. This. Yeah, we can. Let's hit a couple of these. What do you say I run through? I'll hit the odds real quick. If you need to want to borrow a calculator, one of these will work just fine. And we'll work on using the graphing calculators a little bit. If you want to borrow one, see if you make sure you do this, because I'll give you the evens to work on. So if you borrow $800 for 6 months at 16% annual simple interest, how much do you repay at the end of 6 months? Okay, so what we're going to do, so a few things to know. 6 months is equal to 0.5 of a year, or half a year. Okay, so this will be our time. The 800 is fine, the 16%, so our rate is going to be 0.16. Holy cow, if you find something that earns you, oh, this is your borrowing money. Okay, so this is going to be continuously growing, so I can use this equation for it. So if you borrow $800 for 6 months, so we're going to go 0.16 times 0.5, and just use a calculator. What? Make sure your phones are away, please. So basically, at a simple interest situation, your $800 loan that you have 6 months to pay back on, the company is going to make an extra $66.63 on you. So they sold you an item that cost $600, but it actually they sold you an item that cost $800, in which you actually, at the end of 6 months, because you didn't have the $800 up front, you actually paid $866.63 for that item. Okay? A lot of times when you are shopping for things, best way to so think about if you wanted to buy something. Let's say you wanted to carpet a room. Okay, lay in this fancy dancy carpet like we have here. You can go to a store before they have their sale, have some person come out, do the measurements, and you find the carpet you want and get the price. And you ask the person, how long is this price good for? And they will usually say, hey, our price is good for 1 year. And you're like, fantastic. And then you kind of wait. And you wait and you monitor that store to see if they have any type of sale on their item, or they change how their interest rate is. So let's say you're going to carpet a room, it's going to cost you $800 to do. You don't have that $800 right up front, or perhaps you do, but it doesn't have to be done right away. Like you can still tolerate the worn out carpet in that room. So if you didn't have the $800 right up front, you knew you were going to finance for 6 months, that 16% is going to change. So what you do is you get that price locked in and what they had said to you, and it's usually free. The company says, yeah, it's $50 for us to come out and measure. Go to a different carpet store. Okay? It's as simple as that. All carpet stores carry the same carpet. You can find the same carpet. Doesn't matter where you go. But if they do a free, estimate of your home and what it would cost to do, if they came in and said, okay, it's going to cost this much, and you get in writing from them on that contract, how long that price is good for, you go take a look at it and you wait for them and you see if that interest rate drops. But you also, on there, you have written down the price per square yard, 3 feet by 3 feet. And if that price per square yard is still the same, but the interest rate has dropped, it's in your best interest, if you can tolerate older carpet in a particular room for a little bit of time, you could actually save yourself some money. I mean, if they had the Labor Day sale or the 4th of July sale or any of the major holiday sales, they might drop that interest rate. They might drop it to a 0%. Heck, it goes to 0% and you have that price at $800, and you walked in there and said, oh yeah, it's like $950 now to do your room. It's like, no, you said this is locked in for a year, and we are winning this year. Hold them to it. If they don't hold you to it, you can actually take them to small claims court and win. So, and they know that. So don't think that, oh well, these poor guys are just trying to raise money. A lot of times, what they will do in their world is, as this goes down, this goes up. Okay? And it's just a way to, it's called a bait and switch in the sales world. So they'll lower an interest rate and you think you're getting this great deal, but they've really raised the price up. So it's like this. And then they'll go the other way. So they might, if they made this go up high, then this price would actually drop. Okay? So again, it's a bait and switch type of thing that they try and get you on. If you went back to that store and let's say you had the $800, you knew you were going to pay cash for it, wait for it, because just because they told you this is a price guarantee doesn't mean you have to go based on that price guarantee. You can get their adjusted price, a lower price for you if you have the money to do it, and that could also save you money. So just some tricks to this trade. This is coming from someone who used to be in sales. All right. So remind me after I get done with number 5. So I'll do 3 and 5. Remind me when I get done with number 5 to show you one of the sales things I used to do when I used to sell detail work for cars. All right, it says to buy a treasury bill, something called a T-bill, that matures to $10,000 in 6 months, you must pay $9,685.23. At what rate does this earn? So we're trying to figure out the rate would this earn. Okay, and again, this appears as doesn't say it's compounding monthly or anything like that, so I'm still going to use PERT. Okay, so things that I know, this is my A value, this is my P value, E stays as the exponential. We're trying to find R. If this is at 6 months, that is 0.5 of a year. And so you just simply go in and work it out. So you get 10,000 equals 9685.23. And then this is E raised to the R, which we don't know, and that's 0.5. Okay, so this is definitely one that I would utilize Desmos on. Let me write that down so I can go with it. So I get 10,000 equals 9685.23 E to the 0.5R. All right, so let's jump on Desmos with this. Can I clear this?
No.
Okay, I won't clear it yet. I'll get Desmos ready for us, though. I know you guys are excited. So do Desmos time. Can I clear that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, go here, share screen. Oh yeah. All right, so I had the left side is y equals 10,000, and the right side of the equation is y equals 9685.23, e raised to the 0.5x, where x is representing t as in time. So then we have to find this. So because we're at y equals 10,000, you know, as you start going up, you're going to start seeing it, but I have to get my y value up to 10,000. And then if you click there, so this is the intersection. We're going to look at the x value. So that T-bill that you bought would have earned roughly 6.4%. It's just the x value. So it's the intersection of those two lines. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way that you don't have to worry about using natural log to bring down the 0.5x. And just utilize Desmos. Yeah, this graph doesn't really look like a right angle. It is growing like this. But because we're up at 10,000 and out to 5,000 each way, that's why it kind of got goofy. All right. Stop sharing. So 0.64 was what that answer was. Close. So this would have given me an answer of 6.4% is what it would have came out to. All right. And then number five says find the interest rate that will be earned if $10,000 is invested for 3 years at 9% compounded monthly. Okay, so if it's compounded monthly, your M is going to be equal to 12 here because there's 12 months in a year as far as I know. So we're going to go A equals P, and then we go, what is the equation? It's the top of my head, I can't remember it. 1 plus R over M. All right, so we're going to take 10,000 plug it in, 1 plus our rate. This will be at 0.09 over m, which is 12, raised to the 12 times 8, or 3 years. So calculator handled that pretty nicely. Alright, so 10,000, 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12, raised to the 36th. So this is going to come out to your $10,000 investment. Realize this right here. I'm ignoring this right now. If I were to do this putting the 10,000 in, that's basically 10,000 put in at 3 years at 9% is going to get you, 3 years time, you're going to come up with $11,614.72. So you're making, your money made you $1,614.72 in 3 years, which I guess is a good thing to do. Okay. And again, friends, you start seeing things that are 8-9% that are guaranteed. Give me a call, please. That's big money making stuff. All right, you ready to see how I used to sell car washes and detail work? The biggest trick in the world, my friends. I used to do this all the time. Okay, so if you wanted detail work, I worked at a car wash and detail and lube and oil and radiator flush. These are the services we offered. So our car washes, we offered 3 different packages. We had the $5.99, the $9.99, and the $14.99. Okay, these are the prices. I kid you not, I don't know if I've worked there so long. I these. So this was vacuum, car wash, and windows were cleaned and dust off some stuff. This got you wheel cleaner and waxes, and this one got your car was hand washed first. We would shampoo your floor mats, and we would put tire treatment on. We use something called Simonize, a lot like Armor All, made your tires look shiny. So that was basically all of those. And then details. So if you wanted an interior detail, it cost you $70. If you wanted an exterior detail, it cost you $80. And if you wanted your engine steam cleaned, that cost you $40. Okay? And then lube and oils were $29.95, and you got a car wash with it free. If you wanted a radiator flush, cost you $49.95, and you also got a car wash with that. Okay? So these are the things that I made money on. Each of these, I made $1 commission. Anything detail, I got 10% commission on. Each oil change, I made 50 cents commission on. Each radiator flush, I made $5 on it. Okay, that's 50 cents. Okay, so now some people think, okay, this wasn't good. Friends, this is actually when minimum wage was $2.35 an hour. So I made myself, because I had worked at this place for so long, my hourly rate, I was a big time money maker I made $4.25 an hour plus commission. Okay, so I made like $1.90 more than minimum wage, and then whatever I sold for commission. So person would come in for just a car wash. I would try to upsell to our best car wash. Okay. If they wanted a detail, if you wanted a detail, I had you in. Lube and oils, that was easy. I mean, I wasn't trying to sell lube and oil. People just came in to get an oil change. Hey, I need an oil change. Oh, okay. And then I would try to upsell them to the upper car wash, which we would take $5.99 off that price. And then the radiator flush, good stuff. Okay, but I'm going to focus on the detail work because this is where I could really rein in. Okay, so I would have somebody who would come in and say, I want a polish and wax. Okay, so that's an exterior. Okay, so I was like, okay, so I'd be writing on the invoice. Now, I know right now I'm making $8 off this person, but I'm going to try to convince them to spend more money because each amount of money they spend, I'm getting 10% commission on. So I literally did this. I'd say, I'll tell you what, I have enough people on my crew, we could deal with the interior, and the interior is going to cost you $70. It's like, And I say, and if you wanted the engine done, the engine's going to cost you another $40. You watch what I did. Ready? So realize this, I'm training to become a math teacher, so I kind of know math. Okay? So I'm doing this math right in front of them on the invoice. 15. All right. Where's my error?
70 and 40.
You guys see my error?
Yeah.
What should it have come to? So it should be $190. But I would purposely do the arithmetic incorrectly in front of them. So you have two different types of customers out there. One, we're going to take advantage of this moron who can't do simple addition. And yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. So they think they're saving. And then you got the other person saying, oh my gosh, I think you made an error, it should be 190. And I'd be like, oh geez, silly me, I already put it down. I'll go ahead and take the $10 loss. And I would be able to get so many of these people here, but in reality, I could actually sell this whole thing for $100. So this is making me $18 in commission. I did a little silly arithmetic error right in front of the customer where they saw it. And there was so often I would be making $18 commission versus $10 commission. Because this is my low ball. I could, just to get somebody in to get the sale, I could do it for $100, but I would always get that $80 extra. So I'd make $18 selling detail, which I would have a handful of my guys come in and they would take care of that car. I'd see my paycheck with $4.25 for 40 hours worth of work with all of my commission. I made really good money. But friends, watch out for this scam here, my friends. Watch out for this scam. It is done over and over and over again. It's to mislead you. And again, there's two customers out there. There's one who's going to think, oh, sweet, I'm getting $10 free off this dude. And then the other one will point out the error. So then you play the sales pitch back on them. Hey, I already filled it out. I'm so sorry. I made an error. Hey, it's in your favor. You're getting $10 off. In reality, I could have sold it to them for $100. So, hey, that's all I got for you guys today. When it hits 10:05, get out of here. Go have a great day. Take care of one another. all those other things.